Hello everyone, welcome to Explore Electronics. In this video, let's learn about the switch statement, ternary operator and go-to statement in conditional branching. Let us understand what is a switch statement. So switch is a multi-way decision statement. So if instead of using if-else statements and making it a complex code, we can use switch case statement to make it easy and readable. And it also takes less time to execute if we write the multi-way decision statements using switch. The syntax of a switch case statement will be, switch is a keyword that we use, and inside the bracket we will write the choice. And we need to write the case for different conditions that we are checking. So the case and label 1. Label 1 will be the value of this choice. And label 2, label 3. So these label 1, 2 and 3 are the different possible values of this choice. So based on this value of this choice, it will go to that particular case and execute the code that we have written. So this is the code block that we write inside each case statement. And if we need to mention break at the end, so it will come out of that case. And we also have a default case where any of this case statement is not satisfied. It will come to the default block and it will execute whatever we have written inside this default. And again, break statement we need to mention. So here we can observe the flowchart. We have a condition which we will be checking in the switch statement, and based on the value of the choice it will go to the respective block. So this is block 1 which we have written for the case label 1, and block 2 for label 2, and block similarly we can have multiple block statement for different values of choice, and at the end we will have a default block. If neither of these conditions are satisfied, it will execute the default block. Let's take a small example and understand how to write switch case statement. So here we have a program in which we are giving the option to the user to perform any of these arithmetic operations. So the user can perform addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, or can find the remainder. So how do we write it? Let us declare few variables which are required for this. We have int type of variables called ch. This is to take the choice, and we have a, b to take the values, and we have res, that is result, to store the result of the arithmetic operation, and we have division to store the floating point values. So as we know, when we divide some numbers, it can be a floating point value. We cannot say it is always integer. So if we divide, it can be a float value. That's why we are declaring div variable as float. So now we need to ask the user to enter two numbers. So we are printing on the screen, enter two numbers. Now we need to take the user entered values into these two variables, a and b. So what we are writing, we are specifying the format as %d. That means it will take these decimal integers. Now after reading the inputs, we need to ask the user to select the operation that they wish to perform. So what we are saying, we are printing one addition in the next line. So /n means in the next line we are displaying 2 subtraction. In the next line 3 multiplication, in the next line 4 division, and in the next line 5 remainder. And after this it will display enter your choice. So now we are giving the user the choice to enter a number according to the operation that they wish to perform. And we need to read that input data into a variable. So we have declared int ch, that is the choice that the user is going to enter, and we are going to read the value into this using scanf statement. Now we are writing a switch case statement in which we are checking for the value of this variable ch in which the user choice is read. So now this is how we need to write the switch statement, switch keyword, and inside this the variable which we are checking for. And in the case statement we are giving the value of that variable which we need to check. So we have given the user 5 options in which they can enter 5 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So for each of these numbers we have different cases. So case 1, that means if the value of ch is 1, then this is what it is going to execute. Result is equal to a plus b. As we know, we have a variable called result which will have the result of this arithmetic operation. So in case the user has entered 1, we need to perform addition. So that's why we are checking if the value of ch is 1, that is case 1, and colon we need to perform res is equal to a plus b. Then we need to print this result using printf statement. We are saying result is equal to, and we are printing res. Now we need to write a break statement. In case the user has entered 2, so it will execute this case statement. So it will directly go to the case where the value of ch matches. Suppose if the user has entered 5, it need not check all these cases and come here. It will directly come to this case and it will execute whatever we have written in this case. And we also have written a default case wherein if the user has entered any other number than these 5 numbers, then it will directly go to this default block and it will execute this statement. So it will say it is a wrong choice. Then we need to write exit 0 and it will come out of the switch case statement. So earlier we saw that using if-else condition, we were checking these conditions individually one after the other. So it used to take 3 iterations to check if the user entered value is 4. So it used to first check 1, then 2, then 3, then it used to come to 4. So here we don't have that problem and it is more faster when compared to if-else condition. So it is more easier and it is more simpler and it is more readable to the user. So here you can see the nested if-else condition where we have the different choices and it is checking each of this by using this if-else condition multiple times. So we need to write it n number of times. If we have more choices, then our program will become more complex. So to avoid the complexity, we are using switch case statement. Now let us understand what is ternary operator or conditional operator. So this is the syntax to write a ternary operator. First we will have an expression. This expression 1 is nothing but our condition. And we are having a question mark which checks if this expression evaluates to true. So if it is true, expression 2 will be executed. If it is false, then expression 3 will be executed. So this is the syntax for ternary operator. Let's take a small example and understand this. So here is an example which checks for a number if it is odd or even. So we'll get into the main function and we have declared an integer variable called num and we are asking the user to enter a number. So the user can enter any number and it will be read into this variable called num. Now we are declaring a variable called flag and to this flag we are assigning a value. Here is our expression 1. This num %2 means this is modulo division. That means it will return the remainder. Suppose we have entered a number 4. So num will be having 4 and 4 divided by 2 will be, the remainder will be 0. So if we enter any even number, it will be divisible by 2 and we will have the remainder as 0. So that is what we are checking here. So we are checking if the number is divided by 2 and the remainder is 0. That means we are assigning the flag with a value 1. If this condition is not satisfied, suppose we have entered 3 and 3 divided by 2, the remainder will be 1. Now this condition is not satisfied. So expression 3, that is 0, will be assigned to flag. Now after this we need to check what is the value flag is having. So if flag is equal to 1, when will flag be equal to 1? When this condition is satisfied. If this condition is satisfied, that means the entered number will be an even number. So that is what we are printing here. If flag is equal to 1, then we will print it as an even number. If flag is not 1, then it will come to else condition and it will print odd. Let us understand goto statement. So this is the syntax. We need to write goto, this is the keyword, and label is what we give to a particular block of code. So here you can observe, if some condition is satisfied, then we are saying go to this label. So what the program execution, it will come to statement 1, then it will come to if condition, and if this condition is satisfied, it will enter this and it will, we have written go to this label. So what it does, it will directly jump to that label and it will skip these statements in between. So here it is written that the goto statement breaks the normal flow of execution and it takes the control to whatever label we have mentioned. So this is an example. Here what we are doing, we have declared two variables a, b. We have written go to end. So end is our label. So where in the program end is written, it will jump to there. So the normal execution of flow is controlled using go to statement. So it will directly go to that label and it will skip the in-between statements we have. So it will directly come here and print a and b values. Thank you.